polygons aren't always preferable to pixels, better hardware doesn't always result in better software, and things that are good don't always get better with age. Gem Smashers is proof of these things. And if it looks familiar, that's because it's kind of a decade old. The original Gem Smashers was released for the Game Boy Advance back in 2003, and it was actually a pretty interesting puzzler. Gem Smashers had an original concept, fun gameplay, and a colorful style, and it was a really pleasant surprise on the GBA. But on the 3DS, well, the surprise isn't quite as pleasant. Nonetheless, Gem Smashers is kind of like Breakout meets Bust-A-Move. Gems are scattered across the screen, and controlling the character of your choice, you bounce around and break them. Because your character moves automatically, you're only in charge of steering, so you control the angles with the circle pad while breaking the gems, collecting power-ups, and avoiding bad things. So in terms of its gameplay, not a whole lot was changed for the 3DS version of Gem Smashers. The problem is, other things were, and few were changes for the good. Now, my first big disappointment was the game's appearance. Gem Smashers trades in the colorful sprites of the original for polygonal graphics, and frankly, they just don't look as good. Now, a lot of this comes down to preference, but for me, a good sprite beats a mediocre 3D model every time, and by using the latter, this version of Gem Smashers actually ends up with a more dated appearance than its decade-old predecessor. Another problem is that the levels are noticeably larger on the 3DS. Now, this becomes an issue because it slows the game's pace. You spend a lot more time bouncing from gem to gem than you did in the original, which can make the game feel a bit tedious. And of course, there's also a lack of consequences. Bumping into skull blocks does nothing more than cause you to respawn, and because there are no lives, you never really feel like there's a point to what you're doing. It just feels like busy work more than a video game. Fortunately, there's also an arcade mode, which is actually better than the story mode, as well as a multiplayer battle mode, and it's in these modes that you'll probably have the most fun with Gem Smashers. The concept is still interesting, but I was really disappointed with the way this version turned out. I had high hopes for Gem Smashers, but unfortunately, it's a shadow of its former self on the 3DS.